Every 19-year-old walking into a recruiter's office thinks they're the hero of the movie. They've done the push-ups in the garage, they've watched the war films, and they think they're ready. What no one tells you is that 99% of those guys break long before they ever get near the Green Beret. Right here at Level 1, you're nothing. You sign the papers in a strip mall, the recruiter shakes your hand with a fake smile, and hours later you're at basic training getting your head shaved. Your clothes are replaced with a uniform that doesn't fit, and a drill instructor is 3 inches from your face screaming that you are a nobody. For 10 brutal weeks, you run, march, and suffer. You learn how to clear a room, handle a rifle, and survive a chemical strike. You graduate, your family is proud, but you're still not special forces. Not even close. You go straight to airborne training, thrown out of a plane at 1,200 feet, praying your main parachute opens. You land hard, earn your wings, and report to your unit. But when you walk past the real operators on base, they don't even make eye contact with you. To them, you don't exist yet. You have to earn the right to exist. You spend a year doing mind-numbing labor, waiting for your chance. When you finally submit your request for selection, your sergeant looks you in the eye and says, 9 out of 10 guys fail in the first week. That brings you to Level 2, the candidate. This is the exact wall where 99% of people fail. Special Forces assessment and selection isn't built to test your physical strength. It's built to locate the exact breakpoint in your mind and crush it. 400 men show up on day 1. By the end, less than a third remain. The first week tests your body with endless land navigation, heavy rucks, and relentless physical tests. The instructors never tell you the pass standard, and they never tell you if you're doing well. They just write on clipboards and judge your reaction. By week 2 at Camp McCall, you're carrying a 65-pound rucksack through miles of dense pine forest and freezing swamps with zero sleep and no idea where the deadline is. You fall, your boots are soaked, your feet are bleeding, and the silence is deafening. Every single hour, another guy walks over to the instructors, says the words "I quit," and gets loaded onto a truck. Nobody speaks to them as they drive away. Week 3 forces you into team tasks designed to be completely impossible. Hauling massive logs across deep mud while totally exhausted. The cadre aren't watching if you finish. They're watching if you turn on your teammates when you're miserable. If your mind snaps for even a second, you're gone. If your name gets called at the end of selection, you move to Level 3, a qualification student. Now the real grind begins. 18 months of non-stop tactical training. You learn how to move unseen through dense terrain, handle specialized communications, and survive on cold rations without a shower for weeks. Then comes your specialty. As a weapons specialist, you spend months learning every single firearm manufactured over the last century. You disassemble them in complete darkness, fix mechanical jams, and fire thousands of rounds until your shoulder is black and blue and your ears never stop ringing. After that, you're thrust into intense language training, studying a foreign dialect 8 hours a day in class and another 8 hours at night. One slip on your exams and you get recycled back to the start. The final hurdle is Robin Sage, a month-long exercise in the woods where you're dropped into a simulated country. You have to organize, train, and lead a hostile local force that tests your patience every single step of the way. When you finally pass and receive that beret, you realize the uniform isn't a reward. It's a heavy contract promising you will spend the rest of your life in places the world will never know about. Level 4 puts you on an operational detachment, 12-man team where every single person is a specialized professional. And everyone has to know how to do everyone else's job if things go sideways. You're the junior engineer. Your job is construction and demolitions. On your very first deployment overseas, reality hits you right in the face. You're assigned to train local forces to take over their own security. Some of the guys in front of you are eager to protect their homes, while others might be working with the local insurgents. You can't tell who is who, but you train them anyway. At night, you're out on real operations, clearing dark structures, searching for hidden weapon caches, and dealing with extreme tension. The first time real direct fire breaks out, 30 seconds feels like 30 minutes. Your team leader takes a hit, and you have to rely entirely on your combat medical training to stabilize him until the medevac arrives. You learn quickly that out here, the word fine means something completely different than back home. By level 5, you're a senior weapons sergeant on your 4th or 5th deployment. You're 27 years old, but you feel much older. You've seen more intense situations than most people can imagine. Now you're stationed in a tiny remote compound miles away from any major base. Air support is 20 minutes out on a good day. It's just you and 11 other guys. Every afternoon, you sit down and drink tea with local elders, trying to build trust. One elder lost his family to the insurgents. Another lost his brother to a strike. Both are asking you for help, and both could betray your position tomorrow. You build schools, dig wells, and set up local defense, all while tracking enemy movements in the surrounding mountains. When intelligence comes in, you set up long, freezing ambush in the dirt, waiting hours for a target. Winning doesn't bring joy anymore. It just brings relief that your team lived to see another sunrise. And when a teammate steps on an explosive device during a routine patrol and loses his legs, you're the one holding his hand on the transport chopper, telling him he's going to make it while swallowing your own shock. Level 6 makes you the team sergeant, the senior leader, and the real backbone of the unit. You're 32 years old, your joints ache every morning, and your hearing is constantly ringing. Officers come and go, but you stay. You're the one holding the team together when everything falls apart. When a younger teammate is going through a rough personal stretch, you sit with him in the team room and talk him through it. When you deploy into heavy combat zones like Syria, you're directing airstrikes, coordinating heavy support in multiple languages, and navigating hostile urban terrain. But the worst part of leadership isn't the physical danger, it's the loss. When a sniper takes out your 29-year-old weapons sergeant in the middle of a raid, you're the one who has to pack his personal gear into a shipping box. You're the one who has to stand at the funeral in uniform, hand a folded flag to his grieving family, and try to find answers to questions that don't have any. Level 7 takes you into the shadowy world of Tier 1 selection. A recruiter in plain clothes approaches you, asking if you want to try out for a unit nobody names publicly. The selection in the mountains makes everything you did before look like light training. Out of hundreds of top-tier candidates, only a tiny handful finish. Then comes 6 months of extreme close-quarters battle training, shooting thousands of rounds daily, clearing mock aircraft, and operating in total darkness with multi-$1,000 night vision gear. Your missions are classified for life. You fly out on unmarked aircraft, land on unlisted airfields, and execute surgical raids against high-value targets deep inside restricted zones. You kick in doors at 3 in the morning, complete the objective in 6 minutes, and vanish before the sun comes up. You become a complete ghost, doing work that directly impacts world events while the public never even knows your name. By level 8. You're a squadron commander with 20 years in service, running operations for 100 operators. Your body is worn out, held together by sheer grit. You don't clear rooms anymore. You sit in mission command centers watching real-time drone feeds, making split-second calls that decide whether men live or die. You brief high-ranking officials and carry the heavy weight of every tactical failure or bad piece of intelligence on your own shoulders. When an ambush in a remote region claims 4 of your men, you're the one standing on the rainy tarmac at 2 in the morning saluting the caskets, testifying behind closed doors. and writing 4 names on a paper on your desk that you read every single morning. Level 9 elevates you to a general officer commanding joint operations across 80 different countries. You sit in high-level defense meetings, presenting surgical tactical options directly to national leaders. A single decision you make in a secure briefing room triggers actions on the other side of the planet 24 hours later. You carry the responsibility of global strategy, knowing that every choice balances strategic safety against real human lives. Finally, at level 10, you're the retired warrior. You sit on a porch back home with a cup of coffee, watching the sunrise in peace for the first time in 30 years. You walk with a limp, your body carries old injuries, and your closet holds a box of medals that represent stories you can never share. When you're invited to speak at a new Special Forces graduation, you look out at a room full of young guys who look just like you did decades ago. You tell them the job will take everything from them, but they just smile and nod, ready to start the exact same cycle all over again.